Hey guys, a civil society organization called Facing the Future has urged public officials to completely disclose their assets as part of efforts to combat the recent wave of corruption in the public sector. The organization demanded that the newly elected president, Bola Tinubu, and his vice president, Kasim Shettima, as well as incoming ministers, commissioners, and other public workers review their assets as well as those of their wives and unmarried minor children. Facing the Future's executive director, Stanley Ekpa, made the announcement on Monday in Abuja during a press conference. He said that the request was expedited as a result of the investigation's result, which shows that public officials only disclose their own assets and not those of their spouse or unmarried minor children as required by law. Ekpa ascertained that 94% of Nigerian public officials do not fully disclose their assets and liabilities in accordance with Section 15, 1C in brackets of the Code of Conduct, Bureau and Tribunal Acts. He stated, "We want to draw the attention of public officials, within the constitutional contemplation of Section 318, paragraph 19 of Part 1 and Part 2 of the 5th Schedule to the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, that the law requires all public officials, their spouse, and their unmarried children under the age of 21 to declare their assets and liabilities in the asset declaration forms as predicate assets. Corruption has a sterling financial cost more than 45% of the roughly US 13 trillion spent by governments on public projects in Africa is lost due to contract corruption. According to African Union data, corruption costs Nigeria more than $7 billion every year. It's projected to be worth $150 billion on a continental scale. A son square to the GDP of all but 5 of the African nations, according to PwC. If corruption in Nigeria is not reduced, it could cause the country's gross democratic product GDP up to 37% by 2030. As we all are aware, corruption depletes public funds, interferes with governance effectiveness, and reduces the level of living. The provisions of the current law on full disclosure of one's assets and liabilities before and during one's time in office must be observed and obeyed by public officials if corruption in Nigeria's public service is to be prevented. Okay, this is good though, if they will follow up. But there's one thing about politics in Nigeria. These governments, they will bring policies and they don't follow up. In the middle of the policies, maybe once they see somebody that is close to the government or among the government officials are involved in this, you will just see them, they will drop it there. You understand? Because they don't want to prove these people. As far as all these things are concerned, these people, they are above the law. In fact, the way it is right now, it seems that the law of Nigeria is not for these Nigerian politicians. It's just meant for the poor people out there. But this is really very wrong. And that is the reason why corruption, have refused to cease in Nigeria. It's a very simple thing now. This person do, nobody do am anything. So why won't I do my own? E don't turn to turn. Chop I chop, na so e be. You understand? If you don't eat your own, later I go eat my own. That is what they are doing, chop and chop. So if you reach my turn, I go chop and nothing happens, which is really very poor. All these things are affecting, it's really affecting Nigeria. Nigeria is not growing. Nigeria is one of the, the richest country in Africa, but we are nowhere to be found in the map right now. Nigeria is now being compared with all those poor African nations. You can imagine the way these politicians have reduced this country to. If all these things, they will actually take it serious, all these public officials, who found themselves in public office, and they have already made up their mind that they are going there to fund Nigerians money. Yeah, by the time they get there, they will understand that no, you are coming here to work. This is not where you come and get free money. You understand? So it will be a very nice one if actually they will follow up, because that is what they do. Every other time, if politicians want to contest election, they will ask them to declare their assets and all that, even when they know that what they have declared, if you look at what they are being paid, it cannot afford what they have declared as an asset. They will still leave them. So tell me, how are they going to fight the corruption when the people who are fighting the corruption are the most corrupted individuals? So tell me, it just be like you the thief, are the thief. You can't tell me say why the thief, and you yourself you did the same group, the thief. So that is it. A corrupt person cannot fight corruption, whether you like it or not. There is no two way about it. If you are corrupt, you cannot fight corruption, because as human being, at least you still get conscience. How you go take start am? Wetin you wan tell the person when they still know your dirty deals and all that? Nigeria needs to be flushed out with all these corrupt politicians. That is the only way Nigeria will succeed as a country. If not, we have found ourselves in nowhere. So guys, let's hear from you. Kindly share your thoughts below the comment section. Please do not forget to subscribe to this channel if you have not. Thank you for this coming out here.